the asshole for not wanting to be the maid of honor at my best friend's wedding because she's pregnant and marrying my ex? Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that title.
Huh?
So, two major parts of my life converged recently, and I'm just devastated and question pretty much all of my actions. Hence why I'm posting here, because I may be acting awful to two people I love dearly. Oh, girl, I don't think you are, but... So, part one is Tammy, my best friend since elementary school. She is literally my sister. We have done pretty much everything together, same college, same dorm, roommates, confidants, sloppy drunk mates, you name it. I love her so much. Apparently, the same boyfriends too. Mm-hmm. Part two is Gregory, my college boyfriend. What kind of name is Gregory? Sorry. I'm being so mean right now.
Well, because we already know we hate them.
I know, and I'm already so mad from the last story, so I feel like I'm just, okay, I need to
Fired up.
Part two is Gregory.
Yeah.
My college boyfriend. I love him as well, but we could never make things work. Had one of those hot mess relationships which are a combination of torture and bliss. We have dated off and on since freshman orientation. All of us are 27 now, but usually end up in flames. I always loved him so much that I hope we'd mature and be able to make things work. He moved to a different city after college, but we'd stay in touch, send flirty texts, and even went on vacation twice. We got along great as long as we both had our own places to retreat to, if that makes sense. All along, we both had dating lives, and to be fair, I never told him about my long-term idea that we'd be together. A year ago, Tammy moved to a city about 30 minutes away from Gregory. She was having a really hard time meeting people, so I told her since I knew Gregory so well, she could call him and see if he can introduce her to his group of friends. She did, and I knew she was much happier. About 3 months after the flirty text from Gregory just stopped out of the blue, which isn't that big of a deal because it's happened before, but looking back, I should have known what was coming. Tammy just came home for the weekend and said she was making a special trip just to see me. Of course, I was super excited to see her. She came over and she seemed a little off. First, she told me she was pregnant. After we got past the shock and established that she was pregnant. After we got past the shock and established she was happy and keeping the baby, I was elated to be an aunt. Then she said that there was more and it's really hard. I about died when she said the baby is Gregory's. She apologized and said she was so sorry. They just hit it off and they didn't mean to do anything to hurt me, and they even tried breaking up for my sake, but then they realized there was too much of an attraction and they started dating. She hadn't planned on getting pregnant, but now that she is, they're getting married. She said she'd hope this didn't hurt, and she always dreamed about me being her maid of honor, and there's no one else she'd ever ask. I tried to keep my cool, but I lost it. I wasn't mad at her, just really, really sad. I told her that I loved her, and I just couldn't be around her right now, and no way I could even go to their wedding, let alone be in the wedding party. She said she was sorry about 1,000,000 times as she was leaving, and she texted me quite a bit wanting to see me before she left town on Sunday. I just couldn't do it. I literally cried all weekend. Here's the thing. If I were never in the picture, they make a perfect couple. Perfect. Tammy's brand of fiery is a much better match to Gregory's calm nature than mine. They're both gorgeous and smart and great with kids. If two people should be hooking up to be great partners and parents, it's those two. I just can't help being hurt. Am I the asshole for not wanting to be her maid of honor? Okay, I have kind of mixed feelings on this.
Yeah.
My first feeling, because I was very mean initially. Do I think the best friend should have done that?
No.
No. If you're my ride or die, you better die before you get on my ride. Holy shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, never in a million years would I ever think of, like, touching my best friend's man.
No.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way if they've been together 10 years, 20 years. I don't care.
Yeah.
Not touching Steven with a 20-foot pole. Love you. But
It's not
ain't happening. It ain't happening. That ain't never, nope.
Never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it. However, I think that she does make a good point with saying if there were ever two people and he and I were never together, they would be perfect for each other.
Yeah. That adds a very thick layer
so
to my emotions.
Exactly, because it's like, she is right. I mean, I don't know them. But she's right, saying if she was out of the picture, like, they'd be a great couple. And so the only difference is the fact that she was there first, and she, like, they just didn't work out.
Yeah. That being said, I think that all can be true, but the way they handled it was absolutely wrong, and that's what makes them, like, such assholes. Because at some point...
pregnant?
Like, did you get pregnant the first hookup?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it because you talked about breaking up. So, like, the first inkling of something happening, you should have talked to your friend and been like, hey, like, is this a chapter that's closed for you?
Yeah, exactly. Because then the best friend could have been, the other best friend, OP, could have been like, no, we're still actively talking. Like, we're still going back. We're still doing the on and off thing.
Yeah.
And then best friend could have been like, okay, well, I guess I'll back off. But yeah, she could have fucking said something.
Yeah, said something like before they got pregnant and are getting married, because they also had to find out that you're pregnant and then be like, okay, so let's talk about a wedding.
Both. Double whammy.
There's so many things happening in this person's life that they didn't tell their best friend because they knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And imagine, must be so sad on both ends, like, not being able to talk to your best friend about something. Especially two massive parts of your life.
I think this really boils down to a Shauna Shipman scenario. OP is Jackie. If they, like, didn't go crash in the woods somewhere.
Jackie was still, like, very much dating.
Was she?
Though. Yeah. She was, like, not super into it. But she was
but
still...
there's, like, parts being like, oh, yeah, like this. They said that they're on again, off again.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I can see that. And then it is like a...
She's like, yeah, I figured, you know, we're on again, off again, whatever. One day we'll just be on again, and then we'll stay that way.
Yeah.
So, and then you found out your best friend's pregnant by him. But difference is you're not...
Oh, I forgot that she is pregnant, too, so it is very much...
She's pregnant by specifically Jackie's boyfriend.
Yeah, but they didn't crash in a plane.
That's the only difference.
Yeah. Oh,
They all went to college.
Yeah, there's,
Jackie
like...
became a popsicle.
Best friend is definitely an asshole for going near OP's man and then not talking about it.
Because, like, if you fully believe, like, if they fully believe they're soulmates, they should have still talked. This would be a hard but much easier conversation if they were still just dating each other. Yeah. As opposed to, okay, you have to be fine with this because we're getting married and we're pregnant.
Yeah. No, if best friend was like, hey, I've been spending a lot of time with Gregory. And what was best friend's name? It was just known as best friend.
I don't know. In my head, she's like Jackie. So
if Tammy went to OP and was like, hey, I've been hanging out with Gregory a lot lately, I think this might be a thing where we mesh really, really well. Give OP time to process that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, here's the thing. At the end of the day, they're two different people.
Yeah.
They're living two different lives. They may be best friends, but everyone's relationships end in one way or another. Yeah. At some point in life, whether it be death, a breakup, like just things ending, people go their separate ways. This could have been a really good moment for them to come together and evaluate their friendship as it stood just as their friendship. Yeah. Like, hey, I have these feelings. OP would have been given autonomy to, like, make that decision of, I'm okay with this, or I'm not okay with this and I don't want to be in y'all's lives anymore. Yeah. And that would have given OP time to, like, process and take stock of her relationship with Gregory and with Tammy and maybe come to the realization herself. hey, these two people are really, really good together. Does it suck that they might get together? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't get that choice anymore. Yeah. I mean, she does in a way, but it's a lot harder at this point because you're adding in marriage. And she was like, I'm so excited to be an aunt.
Yeah.
And now she might not even get to be an aunt to her best friend, practically sister's child.
Yeah.
Because she had no idea, like, what was going on.
And, like, she came to that... It sounds like she's coming to the conclusion on her own that they are a good couple together.
Yeah.
So I imagine if that conversation happened earlier, pre-marriage, pre-baby, she honestly still might have come to that conclusion. And it would have been a lot easier of a transition of, like, okay, you know what? I had some time to think about it, and you guys are actually really great together. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, we do have an update. Before we say if she's an asshole or not. Okay. Edit. This blew up like crazy. I had no idea. Thank you. I think pretty much everyone so far thinks at least my initial reaction is okay. The thing that people seem most confused by is the timeline, and honestly, I was wrong in my original post. Tammy and I only talked for maybe 10 minutes on Friday evening, so there's a lot I don't know, but I went through my texts and such, and this is the best I can put together. June 2017. Gregory took me to Hawaii. That is the last time I saw him. We maybe texted 2 or 3 times a week. May 2018. Tammy gets her job and moves to a new city. We text or call easily a combined 100 times a day or more. Late July 2018. Tammy confesses that she's really lonely and all her coworkers are older and she's seriously thinking about quitting and moving back. I tell her she should call Greg. She doesn't have his number, so I give it to her. I still keep getting flirty, but nothing overt from Gregory in this time period. August 2018. I start a project at my job, setting up for a December event and for an A/B list celebrity. It's literally make or break for my company and my career. I work 16 hours a day and basically go off the grid. Greg still texts occasionally, but I keep missing Tammy's calls. September 2018, last text from Greg. Like I said, no big deal. I didn't even see this until today, but Tammy texted me and said, please call me ASAP, we really need to talk about something. This adds a whole new element to the story, but I can't believe I forgot or missed this text. I responded to another text of hers later in the day, kind of bitchy. Hey, you know I'm busy, give me some time to breathe. Oh. I mean, now I'm like...
The plot thickens.
Another piece I forgot until I dug in my text. She may have taken this as a message I wasn't ready. I assume this is when they first hooked up. September to December, we still miss each other, and honestly, I don't think I talked to her, and looking back, she texted me about 5 times to every one of my response if I read it right. She initiated all conversations. I wasn't a very good friend. My event goes off pretty well, and then I immediately leave for an overseas vacation with my family. January, we still didn't talk at all, but I didn't think much of it. Friday the 1st, she drops the news in person that she's been pregnant for about 2 weeks and getting married in April. So that's the timeline. Not sure if it clears anything up, but Tammy may have reached out to me at least once.
At least once?
Okay.
Okay, so going back to everything we already said when we were shitting on Tammy, it sounds like she probably might have tried to have those conversations a few times.
Yeah, that's especially when she reached out and was like, hey, I really need to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And it really does sound like OP kind of was like, no, I don't have time for this. Yeah. Which, again, okay, this is moving into like a everyone sucks here kind of situation for me. I'm like, OP kind of sucks, best friend kind of sucks. What are you going to do about it? For her original question, is she an asshole for saying that she doesn't want to be the maid of honor? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. You're not the asshole for that. You are entitled to do whatever you want to do with your free time, and if you're uncomfortable being the maid of honor, that's your prerogative, and your best friend has to understand that. Mm-hmm. But the other stuff kind of makes you an asshole.
Yeah, you were an asshole friend. I'm not saying you deserve the situation, but you were an asshole friend. Like, two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, and like there was a long
There's about a
time
year and some change gap between them seeing each other.
Yeah, and between them seeing each other and then even Tammy coming into the picture. Like there was over a year at that point.
Yeah.
Before they kind of got together. I don't know. Everyone sucks.
Everyone sucks.
Everyone sucks here.
Yeah, you're all assholes in different ways.
Yeah, it's just a shitty situation, honestly. And again, I like going into if she wasn't there, they would be perfect for each other. But she was, so there should have been a lot of other steps that we're taking in the interim.
Yeah, condoms would have been a helpful one too.
Yeah. That took me a second to process. I was like, huh? Yes. Condoms would have been really fucking good. I also think that Tammy could have been maybe like a little bit more persistent in being like, hey, this is crucial. Yeah. We have to talk about this. And I also don't think that Tammy should have moved forward with anything without
I agree with you
talking to OP.
Because there's not a compelling reason why they had to move at the speed that they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than, I guess, their insane connection. But, like, you also had an insane connection with your best friend, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Getting pregnant and then getting married 4 months later is wild. If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?